And then they saw me in a bra, and that was it.
What's going on, Pearl Jam nerds? You're listening to Single Podcast Theory. I'm Brad Lyons.
And I'm Brad Blazek.
Coming at you for the next 100.
Yeah.
Episode 101. Fucking no code live, dude.
Yeah, dude. I love it. It's really good performance of these songs.
Hell yeah, it is, man.
I had it in my head. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, I had it in my head that this was not such a good performance. And as I was watching it, I'm like, this is fucking amazing.
Woo! Dude, it is so fucking good. I love it.
I think it's Yield, the Yield show from Milwaukee, was not the best performance. And I think I got that mixed up.
Okay. I'll need to listen to that.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Was like, whoa.
Yeah, this is his. Well, all right, we'll get into this in a little bit, but yeah, I mean, Ed's voice on this one is fucking pretty great.
Yeah,
they're all pretty, for the most part, pretty great on this one.
Yeah, it's a good time. Just to be clear, we're just doing the no code portion of the Moline show. We're not doing the full 2.5 hour show.
Yeah, because it's one thing to make a playlist or a mix CD, however you roll, of different live versions of your favorite records and kind of like put them together. But it's another thing when you can take the band, a boot from a band, and they actually play the whole record, top to bottom.
Yeah, I've done that in the past. Tried to make, I think specifically like 10, like find all the best versions of those songs. Yeah.
I used to do that back in the day. Take all my favorite. I used to, have a piece of paper and like all my favorite performances that I had on CD, like Boots or whatever, and like almost do like what are they? The tournament brackets. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, okay, which version of Even Flow is going to make it on my live version of 10? God, that's so such nerdery at such a young age. I was always destined, I guess, to be a Pearl Jam nerd.
It never ends, dude. Once you're a nerd, you're always a nerd.
Yeah. Well, speaking of nerds, you fellow nerds that are listening, we've gotten lots of emails over the last couple weeks, and especially leading up to and around episode 100. And there's just too many. Well, it's not that it's too many, but some of them are pretty lengthy, and some of them are personal, some of them aren't. So we're going to answer all of these personally, kind of like off air or whatever. But we did. We're going to. I'm changing the order on you, by the way, Brad. We're going to go ahead and just say hey and read out the names of the people that wished us a happy 100th episode. So we got we hold on real quick. Yeah. We've said it before, but we do read every email. We don't always get back to people right away, and I don't know what's happened. I don't know why the whole like 100 thing, but like. I was on vacation a couple weeks ago. It seems like the emails have piled up. Yeah. And I feel bad. I feel bad that we haven't really gotten back to a lot of people. But I'm going to work on that for sure tomorrow. But we do read every one of them. Absolutely. So thank you. For sure. Well, here's some people that wrote us for a happy 100. We've got Bagel, we've got Lucy, we've got Kevin, we've got Kate Cotton, Chris Davidson, Mark McPherson, Clay Davis, Aurelian Moreau. Oh, and Tim Smith. I was like, Brad, it's your turn. Man, I screwed up just a simple list.
No, you're. No, we got even more than that. Matt Massey, Jesse Ellerby, Aaron Smith, Danny B.
Yes.
Buffalo. Bob Remington, Paul Mazie, Chris Thomas, and Chris Davis.
Yeah, man.
You guys these are some people that congratulated us on the 100 episodes, and we really appreciate it. And it's just, there's just too many to read out on the show, but we really appreciate it, and just want to let you guys know we do see your emails. So thank you.
Absolutely.
It was a celebration of you guys last week, as well as us.
It was fun, man. I was more excited than I thought I would be about episode 100.
Yeah.
It was a good time. Then we had one other email that was kind of emblematic of a few emails, but this one went into a little bit more depth, which we appreciate. And like Brad said, we didn't have emails last week because it was 100 and it's been 4th of July and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. So one thing, because it was funny, the Into the Wild episodes feel like that was 6 months ago to me for some reason.
Right? Isn't it? It's
it really
weird.
does feel like it was a long time ago.
It's been a crazy summer.
Yeah, it has been
usually,
so far.
Usually my summers are pretty much the same as the rest of the year.
Sure.
But man, I don't know why. This year has been like jam-packed.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been cool. I'm not complaining, but it's been one thing after another. But anyway.
Yeah.
Barker, who is obviously a close friend of the show and us, some people felt weird or disappointed or upset, put in your own adjective of disappointment around the sequence of the Into the Wild episodes, and that we talked about the quote-unquote soundtrack or Eddie's parts without having seen the movie yet, which for some people, well, let me just say this first of all. I wanted us to do it that way on purpose. The idea was, let me listen to this stuff without the context of the movie and just see what the music's like. Is this like normal, like ukulele songs, like that kind of stuff that I've heard from him before? Is it going to be band? I wasn't really sure, which still makes sense to me. And then we'll watch the movie and see, how our feelings about the music changes. But now it makes sense after having seen the movie. There is a special kind of connection that surpasses what most people's connections to music in a movie is. And most movies, a lot of times the music is there to add and kind of support or whatever, but a lot of times the music in this particular movie definitely is part of telling the story, right?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, am I saying all this correctly, Brad?
Yeah. Yes. Kind
of getting to the point the right way?
I think so.
So, yeah, I'll just say in hindsight, absolutely, I would have done it differently. But, we still love the music. Obviously, hopefully, after you heard our response to watching the movie, that we were definitely not trying to be negative towards the music on its own. Or, I actually think I said at the beginning of the episode, I really like this shit. You know what I mean? And I loved it even more after seeing the movie. That's true. But anyway, didn't want to ramble on but I did want to address it because, you guys take the time to send emails, and especially I like how Barker put it too. He was like, they're good friends, and he gave some examples of good friends, and then there are gooder friends. And he says the ones that let you know immediately when you have that boogie hanging out of your nose or that smear of mustard on your cheek. Basically the ones that are love you enough to say some things that aren't maybe easy to hear or could be taken the wrong way or whatever. But we appreciate all those emails because we want to do our own thing. You know what I mean? We don't want to be beholden to to anyone else in certain ways. But at the same time, like, we're all in this together. This isn't a us and you guys kind of situation, and we value that kind of feedback. So, yeah, appreciate it. You got anything you want to add to it?
This is the kind of criticism that I don't mind, where it's not somebody just ripping us apart, which hasn't really happened.
Nah.
But I mean, to get an email like this from Barker, that's very like well thought out.
Yeah. Sure, absolutely. Well, it always is with Barker. I mean, even when you strip away all the funny, he's so fucking funny. He always has a great point. But anyway, all right, cool. We'll be back to kind of normal next week with some emails and maybe even a new segment.
Maybe this will be like SPT.
Oh.
SPT Mach 2. We're going to totally change the format and everything.
Yeah, SPT 2.0.
Yeah,
bitches. No, man, I am excited. This is 101. I'm ready.
It's cool.
I wondered how I would feel. I remember, around episode 50, I was like, I wonder how I'll feel at 100. Mm-hmm. I feel good, man. I feel good.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just a number, but it's not.
No, it's not. No, it's been great. And again, thank you guys so much for being on the ride with us. We really appreciate it. One other thing, if you would like to email us, you can email us at singlepodcasttheory@gmail.com. You can hit us up on the social media. And if you'd like to support the show, you can head on over to patreon.com/singlepodcasttheory. That's patreon.com/singlepodcasttheory. All the info is there. And we have a new patron this week.
We do.
Dun, 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 dun.
And Hugh Payne?
Yeah, man. I like the spelling. H-U-W.
H-U-W. I think he's from Wales.
Okay, cool.
So I don't know if that's just like how they spell Hugh or if we're totally saying it wrong.
It could be hub.
Huh?
Ho?
Hua?
I don't know how you would do that. So I'm pretty sure it's you. Thanks, you.
She's a hua.
That's like, oh God, what a hua. Okay, that's like the new incentive. You donate and we fucking tear your name apart for 30 seconds.
Exactly. Yeah, Hugh seems like a good dude. He I'll be honest, Hugh, you came in a little hot. He messaged me a few times this week, which is great. I love getting messages, but he was definitely
on it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Dig it.
Which is great,
Hell yeah. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Talking shit about Pearl Jam. So let's do it, man. No Code Live. Moline.
Yes. 2014.
2014, man. It was not long ago. Just 5 years ago, man.
Yeah, man.
All right.
It doesn't seem that long ago. I saw Pearl Jam in Milwaukee like a week earlier. This Moline was October 17th of 2014. And I saw the Milwaukee. Did I say Milwaukee?
Yeah.
I meant Memphis.
Oh, Memphis show. Well, you went to Milwaukee as well too, right? 1 year.
Yeah, that was like 95.
Oh, okay, cool.
3 days prior to this, they were in Memphis.
How did?
And
what was the standout from that show? Do you remember?
Well, Eddie was kind of sick.
Oh,
Eddie
really?
was sick. Yeah. So his voice was a little crazy. We did a show on that episode, on that concert.
That's right.
I remember. Crap! I just lost what I was going to say. Oh, I just remember that Eddie was a little under the weather, and it seemed like the rest of the band was really like carrying.
That's right.
him.
I remember talking about that show. That's right. Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
so
Eddie definitely carried his weight on this one, I feel like.
Oh man, he was feeling great this night because, like we mentioned earlier, like he was on fire. They all were, but his voice is like peak fucking condition this night.
Yeah, and at least for I've listened to this show quite a few times, but today, last couple of days, I guess I've just been listening to the no code portion or whatever. And,
right. Yeah.
They're all just on. It's just one of those nights, you know?
Yeah.
It's cool. Anyway, well,
it's cool because this was totally a surprise. Like, nobody knew this was going to happen.
Right.
This was the first time that they played an album all the way through since, like, 2006 in Italy. They played Avocado. And so this was basically something extremely special and extremely out of fucking left field.
Right. You definitely wouldn't have seen this coming.
No way.
Right.
And they did it in their way. Most bands that do these full album shows, like, it's like they're going to tour. Like, it's the 20th anniversary of Rest in Peace. Right. So we're going to do, we're going to hit 30 different cities and, like, it's coming. And that's cool, too. Like, I love those shows. Sure. But Pearl Jam doesn't seem like that kind of, like, a gimmicky type band. And and they proved it by doing it the way they did it. Like, nobody fucking knew.
Right. And from a musician standpoint, and from one that spent a lot of time like out on these types of tours or whatever, the thing is that the bands that do those kind of tours too, obviously it's all canned or whatever, because most bands can't just say, hey, most bands don't play 35 song sets, first of all. Right. Especially, I don't mean this in an ageist way or whatever, but like, they're not 25 anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people can't do it by this time. They're still making good records. And I don't know, man. It's like, hearing this band play this whole record, how many years after? So that's not, I can't 20? Do math. Is 18? It 18? That's not
96, 96 to 14 would be 18 years.
18 years later, and just fucking run down that record. And especially as people that, have varying degrees of knowledge of set lists for Pearl Jam and stuff like that. Like, some of these songs they'd never play.
Right.
Which is another reason why this was so special.
Yeah.
Or play very rarely. But let's you want to get into it? Go ahead and do it?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, cool. So, obviously, song number 1. Well, for some context, they did open with Elderly Woman.
Right.
To kind of like
just
warm up the show.
Warm up the show, like, make it, again, like, they had to know people didn't know what was happening.
Right.
So they're, like, trying to, like, trick us. Like, let's open with Elderly Woman, like we always do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what they open with. And then it's perfect if you're trying to trick the crowd, like they go into Sometimes.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, cool, they're doing one of those like double opener things.
Right. The
two
slow,
openers
slow
or whatever.
Burn, a couple slow burns, yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, what do you think so far? Eddie comes out wearing like a suit jacket.
Yeah.
Do you think that like meant anything? I guess we should talk about, do you know anything about this? Oh, man. What was the name of... Do you know the name of the... let me look it up. The place they were playing.
Oh no, like the name of the arena or whatever.
I Heart Arena or some shit like that. Wireless Center. Wireless Center in Moline. And like, do you know where Moline is? Have you even heard of Moline?
No.
It's outside of Chicago, like in the middle of nowhere, about 45 minutes, hour, something like that, west of Chicago. So it's like, it's pretty, just kind of weird that they would be playing Moline instead of Chicago.
Right.
But I think this was a new venue.
Makes sense.
And they were, so people were kind of like, this could be interesting, But I don't know. It's just like, the surprise surrounding this show is pretty amazing.
Sure. Well, let's get into Sometimes first.
Yes. Okay.
First of all, I love how, the record, it's such a small, tense, like Eddie's whisper singing in a way. He's kind of singing through gritted teeth, but he's singing fairly high up, which is hard to do quietly. You know what I mean? And you get all that tension in his voice, but then you see them kind of start this live, and he's just like open wide the whole time. And I fucking love how different it makes the song feel. Did you notice that at all? Just like how his vocals were just kind of like, he was just full voice the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. He's, I don't know, I don't know. I don't know if there was any shows in between this and Memphis, but man, I mean, he just sounds like so much better than that Memphis show.
Yeah. No, I mean, his voice is spot on this one, I feel like. I mean, the tone and the pitch and everything is there, but it seemed like he was also really into playing these songs again. Mm-hmm. I love the, God, I'm going to blank on the lyric right now. Sometimes, right before he sings, sometimes I sing to myself. That section, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The vocals kind of pick up, but in this live version, I'll play a little clip of it probably, where they kind of, he starts screaming. You remember what I'm talking about?
Sometimes I rise, sometimes I fall, sometimes I know, sometimes I know, sometimes I cringe, sometimes I live, sometimes I roll, sometimes I kneel, sometimes I speak of nothing at all. Reach to myself.
You couldn't tell through my humming.
Yeah, sometimes I fall, sometimes I don't.
Yes.
That's where you kind of...
Yeah, that last bit, where he repeats the sometimes over and over again.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Sometimes I speak of nothing at all. That line, he just screams it, and then they get real quiet, like on the record. Sometimes I reach to myself. That's the line I couldn't remember there at the end. I love that whole little, and it only, it's like 3 seconds long, but I love that they just fucking blow that part out. Do you have a little coffee? Brad had a cough?
Sorry.
All right, and then of course we get into Hail Hail.
Is that all we got? Oh, I can't
We hate this song.
Yeah, it's not one of their better tunes. I can't even say it. No, dude, they fucking rip through Hail Hail.
They do.
And if you're at the show, you still don't know. You're just like, oh, they're playing a couple slow ones and then into Hail Hail, and oh, by the way, that's the 2 first ones off No Code. That's cool to play those 2 back to back,
right.
but it makes sense.
Yep.
You're still not know
thinking. You're still not thinking we're about to get the whole fucking record.
You're just thinking like, oh, that's cool. It's like when they play the 2 from Singles like back to back. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's a cool thing they did. Not realizing, like, well, hang on, motherfucker, because you're getting the whole thing now.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, well, and this version of Hail Hail is badass. Like, they're, like you said, they kind of rip through it. But it's nothing, like, there's nothing different about it. You know what I mean? It's the song. But then this is the moment where you go, oh shit, are they going to play No Code? Because then, well, supposedly they were supposed to start playing Who You Are.
Yeah.
But Jeff mistakenly heard Matt playing and thought he was playing the In My Tree intro, which is a song that is a part of their set list. And I'm not saying all the time, but it's not. They play that song, and they never play Who You Are.
Right.
And I love, if you watch the YouTube video, Ed walks over to Jeff to tell him you're playing the wrong fucking song. And then if you look at the end of Who You Are and before they start In My Tree, I would bet you all the money in the world that there's this moment where Ed walks back over to Jeff again and says something to him, and they both laugh. And I think it was something to the effect of, okay, now you can play In My Tree kind of thing. Right? Yeah. Because he laughs and then he starts playing it.
Yeah. I noticed that when he goes over to say something to him, like Jeff looks down, I'm assuming at the set list, and kind of like, oh, just kind of like says oh to himself or something.
I love how he just quietly stops playing In My Tree, and then Ed decides to start talking. Yeah.
And Ed kind of plays it off like, well, I'm going to make a speech here anyway, so just be quiet for a minute. Right. Also, you're playing the wrong song.
Right. And half of our crowd at least realizes that, they thought we were about to do In My Tree. You kind of fucked up our whole deal here.
Yeah. But this is when Eddie gives the speech about coming to this new venue.
I mean, you come to a place you've never been before, and it's a bit like a blind date, right? So I just gotta say, we walk in here like a blind date, and you get there, and then she opens the door and is like, she's hot. It's good. Have fun tonight. Let's go.
Yeah, I just like how he's like, you open the door and she's hot,
Yeah. Oh, Eddie.
But I think I guess there was, I guess again, like this venue being a new venue. I think I should have done some research, right? I should have been the professional Pearl Jam podcaster.
You should think about it.
I should. I think they were like only the second band to play at this place or something like that.
Right.
But I think there was some talk about like this was a new venue and they wanted to do something special. And especially because it was like, it's not Chicago, it's not Milwaukee, it's Moline.
Right. Man, I wish. Yeah. What's up?
I was just going to say, could you tell, I don't know if it's the angle of this video, but the stage looks really small. But I don't know if it's just like some weird forced perspective of the angle.
Yeah.
But the stage it looks kind of small, or like they're bunched together. The entire show is available on YouTube. And there's a page called Better Than Nothing Videos. I'm sure we've mentioned these guys before.
Right.
But I just want to put this out there that this show, these guys, they take together, they edit all the like cell phone video, but they edit the actual bootlegs that Pearl Jam puts out and edit it together, and it looks awesome and it sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. I watched the same one.
Mm-hmm. I've got one. I've got a Blu-ray.
Oh, really? That's
Did we not watch this when I was at your house that night? Were we watching this one? Do you remember what we were watching? We were watching a show.
Yeah, I don't remember what show we
house.
watched.
You know what I'm talking about? It might have been, I don't think it was Milwaukee. Might have been Wrigley. Might have been, I bet it was one of the Wrigley shows.
I bet it was Wrigley. Well, let's talk about who you are.
Okay.
I think they should play this song more. I liked it. I was into it. No?
All right.
No?
It's all right.
You don't like, what about the record version? You're kind of like lukewarm about it?
I like the record version. I miss Jack on the drums for this song.
Yeah.
And this is the Kumbaya song. This is the kind of that I'm sorry.
No, I
like
get it.
the
We've
song.
had that conversation.
Don't get me wrong. Before we get emails, I love Who You Are.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. And I love, man. I really was concentrating on like the gear for this show, and Eddie plays this SG. I don't know if he's got two different ones or if it's the lighting, but it looked like he had a white one and like a electric blue SG.
He has both, yeah.
Okay, he was playing both this night, and I love an SG. I don't know.
Dude,
I don't know if
I
it's
want one
because
so bad.
Angus Young, they're just so fucking badass looking.
I can't believe I've never.
And that
owned.
blue one he's got is just like, I love it.
Yeah, I like that blue one too. Yeah, I need to. That's one of the. There's a couple more guitars that I feel like I'm not gonna be a real guitar player until I get them, and an SG is one of them. I just need to get one, and it's so stupid too because it's not like SGs cost like $5,000. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I could get one. I need to get one. Anyway, man, I thought I would be psyched, not just because it's rare to have gotten this song in a set list. Like if I was at a show, I liked it. I guess that's all I'm going to get out of you on that one. Let's move on.
Yes.
All right. So then we get In My Tree.
Up here in my tree, yeah. Old newspapers matter not to me, no. Well, no more crowbars to my head, yeah. While I'm trading stories with Dorothy.
this song always kicks ass.
This
is a good version, though. This is a really good one.
This is awesome. This version is like rocking. Like they get into it.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Which I really like. Because the album version is a little dark, I guess, and a little more subdued compared to this. But this is like, man, they go for it.
Yeah, all the guitars are just wide open. I was, on the drive over to the studio, I was listening to it, and, that section where it's just the big lift of the song. The guitars just sound so nasty and huge in this version. I fucking love it. All right, so we got In My Tree. I mean, I'm actually a little bit more excited about the back half of this album as far as live, but I feel like there's some good surprises later on. But Smile is always, we both love that song.
Yeah, Smile is up there with my favorite songs. So,
and this was a really good one.
Yeah. Well, I always like that Jeff and Stone switch instruments,
right?
Because that's, I guess, on the album it was like that.
Yeah, totally.
They recorded it that way. And I didn't know that till like 2 years ago or something.
Oh, really?
So now I'm just like, yeah, that's like a new fact for me.
Well, that main electric that you hear is Jeff on the record.
Right.
And that is so much of the character of the song is the way he plays that rhythm part. I love it. And even like in this live version too, it like really stands out to me how cool his rhythm parts are. Like he's such a good musician, and he's got great time because he's a bass player, but he's also obviously a very melodic person musically. But he just kind of like the way he digs into those strings, the way he plays those chords, it's just nasty and it's fucking awesome. Yeah,
it's kind of like he's chunking away, I guess. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
But like he's really attacking the guitar.
Well, and to the point of like, I think that if they had done what most bands would have done, I think is like, okay, we'll show the rhythm, show Stone your part, Jeff, and then you write then you play your bass part and Stone will play your part. Like if you take away Jeff playing that part, I think the song loses. I would imagine the song loses a lot. Because so much of it's just built around the way his pocket on that rhythm part.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway. All right, cool. So,
can we talk about like his, I don't know if it's a solo.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But like Jeff is like Yeah, that's Jeff playing that. Which, I only bring it up because it's so rare to see Jeff playing guitar. Which, I didn't even think about it, but you get to see Jeff playing guitar, and later on, we get Stone singing in the same show.
Very true. That's what I'm saying, man. That's cool shit, man.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we had Jeff playing some guitar. Now we've got one of your favorites. Off he goes.
Mm-hmm.
I like this song. I like this version of this song. I think that's one of the... I mean, not that they have never played this live or anything, but that's
right.
One of the treats of getting this record live is that there are quite a few songs that they don't play that often. But
yeah. No, I mean, it's a slower song. It's part of No Code. They got to play it. You know, I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I mean, it's
no,
just,
I get it. Man.
It's, you know, it's just they you know, they bring it down for a minute, which is fine. You need a breather every few minutes.
Sure. What would have to change about this song for you to like love it? Or it's just a song that's just not your favorite?
Yeah,
it just wouldn't
it's
work.
just not my thing. I mean, Eddie's playing acoustics, Jeff's on the stand-up bass. It's that kind of song that just doesn't do much for me. Maybe if the lyrics were different, like I don't know, if they were like super funny or super dark, you know, if it was like Jack Black singing like some crazy lyrics.
You're an idiot. No, I just mean like, you know, because you said, you know, with Dissident, you're like, well, you know, if you take that Mike's guitar part out, then I'd love it. Mm-hmm. I didn't know if it was one of those kind of situations.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, it's a perfectly fine song. It's not, I don't hate it.
Man, I wish I had the power and the means to orchestrate a meeting of you and Mike. And
Mike McCready?
Yeah, and set it up.
Please. Yeah, I do too.
Where he comes in and it's like you're getting Brad Blazek is getting to meet Mike McCready, and then he's like, "Oh, you're Brad. Oh, the podcast. You get Brad. The podcast." And you're like, "Yeah, man, yeah, huge
like,
fan."
I'm Brad Lyons.
And you're like, "Yeah, I'm Blazek. I'm Blazy, huge fan of yours or whatever." And then he's like. He won't even look at you. He looks at the security and goes, please get this gentleman out of here now. And then he just kind of freaks out and throws a famous person tantrum and starts yelling at you. And you think it's real. Yeah. What would you do if Mike was really like yelling at you?
I would start crying and be like, I'm so sorry.
And then
I've told you
we'd all jump out and say,
I've had this nightmare. Oh, that'd be okay. Okay, you could do that to me.
Okay.
I would be okay with that.
I'll start.
That's like a Practical Jokers type prank.
Some paper here. Make some notes. I've got a list here. I've got a notebook I carry around with me, and I have a whole page dedicated to just ideas of practical jokes I can pull on you. Get your own page.
I told you before, that's like my ultimate nightmare, is to like meet them and then they like I do or say something to like offend them.
I don't think you say anything to offend them. You definitely say something to embarrass yourself.
Yeah,
that's just going to happen.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I just show up and it's embarrassing.
No. Shut up. Wah, wah. Anyway, where were we? Oh, off he goes. Is that where we were? Okay.
Yes.
All right, well, let's move on to a song that we both love. And this version is so fucking good.
Yes.
We've got Habit. I mean, again, I feel kind of bad now because this show is so good, and I feel like every song we're just like, it was amazing. Next song, but this
I mean, dude, it's the truth.
Yeah, his voice again. The guitar sounds so good on this whole thing, but fucking Matt kicked ass on this show.
Yeah, we'll get to it. There is one song that's a little rough.
Well,
we'll
that's funny. Okay, cool.
We'll get there though. But no, Habit is fucking Habit sounds great. I mean, they're fucking, like you said, they're wide open. Eddie's on that fucking white SG.
And he sounds...
Mike is playing...
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, is it a Gibson? Is it a Les Paul?
Oh, I don't remember.
Orange and red.
Man, you went all gear nerdy on this, man. I didn't write any of that stuff down.
Oh, yeah. And I wish I was a little more good with which guitar is which. Like, is he playing... is it an Explorer?
You don't want to be more good. You want to be more gooder, Brad.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, shoot for the stars, my friend.
I do. I want to be gooder. Is he playing that white checkerboard? Is that an Explorer? It's kind of
I think so. I'd have to look.
You know, if I said "eat fuck," would you know what I'm talking about?
Explorer, yeah. I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay, because that's the same style guitar. I wish I was a little better with. I wish I was a little gooder with the different kinds of guitars. Just from looking at them.
Did you just try and like test me on my Metallica guitar knowledge? Is that what you just did?
No, I was
trying to. Did
you slip
that in there a little bit?
I wasn't testing you. I was just making a frame of reference that I figured you would know.
Yeah. No, I'm just messing with you.
But yeah, I think it's a Gibson Les Paul. It looks like something that looks like Slash's guitar.
That's a Les Paul.
Okay, That's what Mike's playing on Habit. It's a fucking gorgeous yellow and red color, and dude, the fucking like ending, like the breakdown where Matt starts doing that snare roll.
Yeah, I know.
And then they just all go nuts, and Mike is playing that like blistering solo on his knees. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah, man. They went all in for sure. All right, so Habit kicked ass. I think the next one kicked ass too. We got Red Mosquito. What do you think about this one?
I love it.
I think his voice sounded great on this one.
Yeah.
I think in some ways,
really good.
His voice sounded better in this live show in certain songs than on the record. Just something...
Ooh.
And you wouldn't think that... well, obviously, I love the record. I love every fucking second of the record.
I know.
But again, it's almost like the sometimes thing. It's just so cool to hear what is effectively a different take on the song, but in the context, or all these songs in some ways, but in the context of playing them all together, not just sporadically during different set lists, you know?
Right.
And just the way, just that one subtle change in Eddie's voice from the record of Sometimes to the way they opened up with Sometimes. I feel like that happens a lot, and this is one of those moments. It's not that he sings. I'm saying he sang it terribly differently than the record, but is definitely again like really open. And I would have thought that maybe this could be a song that would be hard for him, but not the case.
No, he pulled it off, and it's like, I mean, I think they knew they were doing something special.
Sure.
So they all had to be like locked in for these songs, you know?
Yeah.
Because they couldn't, you know, I'm sure they try every night, but to play these songs in this order was super special.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to think if there's any I mean, Mike was pretty great in the slide, and it reminds me too of he does remind me. I see guys play slide on their pinky, and I don't know why it bothers me. I don't know why it bothers me.
What do you want them to do it with their ring finger?
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I don't really care, but he kind of shows why putting it on your pinky is better, because he's still got his ring finger and index finger to he can come off slide, play some notey shit with those two fingers, come back on the slide. He can switch back and forth easier because he does it that way. And I'm like,
I noticed something. You just reminded me of something. Hold on, what song was it? There's a song where Stone, I never noticed this before, but he's finger picking, and he's got a pick in his mouth, and then at some point he grabs the pick and starts playing with a pick.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what song. It was one of the earlier songs. Is that, I don't know, is that kind of normal?
Yeah. Well, if you play electric both ways, finger style and with a pick, some people don't. Some people just play electric with a pick. Whereas, I switch back and forth. So, yeah, about half the set, unless obviously it's a set where I'm singing, I've got a pick in my mouth half the set.
Yeah, I don't know. That stuck out to me. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, it's kind of I wonder if he switches back and forth in Garden. I've never looked to pay attention, but he's got the big power chords.
That would make sense. Yeah, that would make sense.
But then he's got the finger picked, kind of meat of the song for the verses or whatever. All right, cool. So got Red Mosquito and then Lucan. I mean, Lucan's Lucan. It's great.
Yeah. There's not much to say about it. It sounds great.
He did his little, slow intro thingy with the guitar.
Yeah.
Pretty, again, nothing special as far as like changes to the song or anything like that. They just kind of rip through it.
Yeah. And you can't understand a word he says.
And that's the way it should be. I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. So then we get to what's always a high point anytime this gets played. We've got present tense.
Have you an idea on how this life feels? Check your hands and steady your life. Yeah. Have you the belief that the road ahead ascends on the sunlight line? Oh, it seems for most I see it's getting harder to find an approach and a way to live. Yeah. Are we getting something out of this? Fucking sure. You can spend your time alone, redigesting past regrets. Oh, you can come to terms and realize you're the only one who cannot forgive yourself. Makes much more sense to live in the present.
Good shit, man.
I figured out something today.
What's that?
watching this? That present tense is my given to fly.
Yeah, I get that.
I love this song so much, and I get like that Seinfeld episode where Elaine's boyfriend, when he would hear there's an Eagles song he would like literally like stop talking to me, don't look at me, and he would just like look up to the sky and start singing along with the song. Like that's what I get out of present tense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know that Given to Fly does that for a lot of people. But man, this, I guess maybe because this song came out first, and just like, I just love Mike's intro. And then the lyrics are so like uplifting, I guess, and like introspective.
Yeah. They're good reminders almost. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. Maybe we're saying the same thing in two different ways, but this song for me, like there's a feeling of transcendence with a song like Given to Fly, right?
Right.
But for me, I can't put myself into the lyrics as much. Like it's a narrative with Given to Fly. But with present tense, like it's so easy for me to like put myself there with the lyrics. And so it feels more personally transcendent, this song does, than the other ones that kind of are of this ilk or whatever.
Well, and two, I mean, the live version, I mean, it's just Eddie on stage with like one spotlight on him,
right? And
he's singing those words, you know. Mm-hmm. I mean, the other guys are on stage, but the spotlight is on him,
sure,
for this slow intro part. And I think I could be misremembering it, but I think that goes back like 20 years. When I saw them in '98 at Chicago, I'm pretty sure it was just Ed up there with a spotlight singing those words, and I think that was when it like really hit me.
Don't they?
I love.
Don't they spot
song.
Mike too though? Or is it just Eddie?
I think at first
remember.
it's just Eddie.
Okay.
I mean,
I'll look at it again, check it out. But yeah, that's cool.
but yeah, this version is so good.
What's another benefit of a band that's been together and touring for this long is that their lighting and sound people, are part of the band, and they've not just from repetition of hearing the songs over and over again, but they do a good job of trying to help represent the song, live in that way. But they can't do anything too crazy because they have different set lists every night. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So they're doing it really old school, which is one of the things I love about their shows. It's just some spotlights and a couple jumbotrons, and their front of house mix engineer, and the band and the crowd make everything else happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't be overstated how important all those crew people are. Like, whether it's the front of house person, the person that does catering, the person that makes sure the band has water bottles or whatever they want to drink on stage, like all of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to have all those people to make that show happen for the crowd. I know that sounds so
and I
simple
imagine,
and obvious, but
I imagine they've had pretty much the same crew for a long time.
Yeah, I'm sure people, once they get that gig, they're probably there for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a family thing. Okay.
I would love to talk to some of those people.
Yeah, we got to figure out how to make that. That'd be really interesting.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
Yeah, we know people who know people, right?
Yeah, we should try and get that figured out. But first, we got to talk about this.
Wait.
Know what?
I just want to comment on the jammy outro of Present Tense.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love every section of this song.
Yeah.
It's so weird if you played, this is one of those songs too where if you played, maybe 10 seconds of kind of the first verse chorus kind of thing to somebody and then played the you know what I mean? Like when the band starts going.
Yeah.
Like they don't sound like they would be the same songs at all.
Right.
It just takes such
Yeah.
a fucking hard right turn on that section or whatever.
And then like I said, that outro live especially, they kind of jam out a little bit, which sounds kind of like the beginning, but not like the beginning. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, are you talking about the end part, like where it's just like the arpeggiated guitars and it's all kind of like falling apart?
Yeah.
I love that shit. All right. Well, now we come
to your favorite part.
Man, I told you I changed my tune a little bit with these songs.
That's right, you did.
I enjoyed this one, but we've got Mankind, man. Liked it. I dug it.
Really?
Yeah.
I did too, obviously. I mean, I love that song. We can't not talk about the fuck up, though.
Yeah, who screwed up?
I don't know.
It must have been Mike. Was it Mike? I think it was
Mike.
I think it was Mike.
I think it was Mike because it looked like Eddie and Stone were like looking over that way.
Right.
So
Mike fucked it up. God, yeah. Mike.
But you know what? Did you get any weird vibes off of Stone? I know he's smiling before the song starts. But man, he does not look like he's loving life while he's singing this song.
I think that's just Stone.
Yeah, it's
I don't mean
resting
that in a bad
Stone
way.
face.
Have you ever said that before?
No, I just said this.
So
that.
True.
Maybe that's what it is.
Boom.
I mean,
you just came up with a new term, resting Stone face.
But he just does not look like he's enjoying. I mean, he's doing it, and he's doing his little, head bobbing thing. But
yeah, maybe he didn't want to do it.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, Eddie. From what I've heard, Ed comes up with the set list like 5 minutes before they go on. And I don't think this is any different from stuff I remember reading. I think Mike was talking about that they did not plan this. Like, it literally came up the day of, like, hey, you know what we should do? Let's play No Code. And they,
man,
maybe Stone.
They all busted their ass doing some homework on their old songs that they haven't played in fucking
right?
forever. I can see them all backstage with little, like, boom boxes and acoustic instruments trying to figure out, what their parts were or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I didn't look up every song, but this one in particular hadn't been played for like 2 years.
Well, that's understandable.
They played and even then, they played it like, I looked that up. They played it once in 2012 and like, seemed like they've played it once, like one time over the years, like every couple of years they play it once.
Right.
So.
Man. Well, I thought it was cool.
Yeah, good. I'd love to hear that because I like the song. I've always liked it. I asked my wife today. I said, "Hey," when I was watching this, I said, "Hey, what do you think? What do you think about the guitar player singing one song?" And she's like, "I think that's pretty cool."
Well, good.
And I was like, "Thank you." I was like, "Thank
you." Good job, Susan.
She said, like, "Why do you ask me?" I said, "Because some people think he shouldn't sing." And she's like, "Why?" I said, "Because Eddie's the singer in a band." And she just looked at me like, let him have some fun.
Yeah, man.
She gets it.
Just have some fun, bro. It's all about the fun.
Oh, but did you think maybe Mankind was a little sloppy even after they fucked up and started over.
Well, the whole song's sloppy. I mean, even on the record, it's kind of sloppy.
Yeah, okay.
It's just kind of a no bullshit, like, eighth note.
Garagey rock song.
All muted power chord. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're not the tightest they've ever been with that song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
right. Yeah.
All right. So another little opportunity for Brad B. Mm-hmm. I bring back some old memories.
Yeah.
We've got up next. We've got I'm Open. Just go ahead and do it, man.
I'm open.
That was terrible. That was not one of your best ones, those. I mean, it's obvious that you've been out of practice on that.
I have, yeah. I haven't done that in a while.
You kind of overshot your pitch there. You just went like up an octave from what you normally do. It's kind of weird. You used to have this nice breathy thing going on.
I'm open.
Yeah. Well, the breathy doesn't mean you don't, use parts of the word.
Yeah. I'm open.
I actually thought this was cool. I thought the way they handled this was cool.
Yeah. Yes.
Make it just a little short, little acoustic, Eddie, kind of an interlude kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then get to one of your other favorite songs, Around the Bend.
I do like this song.
You do? Yeah, that's right. I can't keep your shit straight, man. I just can't.
It's a nice little like lullaby type song.
Do you like
That's
Jimmy
how
Buffett?
I always saw it. Oh God, fuck no.
It kind of sounds like if you took the first chord and turned it from a major to the minor, or from the minor to the major, it's like, and you took Eddie's vocals out, it's kind of got a Jimmy Buffett feel, kind of like an island sipping on a pina colada kind of thing going on.
That's like if you took some song and changed it from this to that, and then took out the singer and then changed this, it might kind of sound like Jimmy Buffett.
But I mean, listen to that shit, man. Got some island
Jimmy
vibes
Buffett
going on.
It's fucking awful.
Well, okay, agreed.
It just tells you that just makes, tells you that Pearl Jam and Eddie could turn any pile of shit into a good song.
Amen, brother. Preach on it.
I do like that Ed forgot the lyrics to the song in the beginning.
Oh yeah, and he asked somebody.
He asked the crowd, "What's the first line?"
Yeah,
which is like classic. If you just kick me off with the first line, like I'll get it, and he does. But I love that he kind of steps over the what are the monitors and like leans into the crowd and says like, "What's the first line?"
I've been on stage where those moments happen. It's easy to get up there and just like. The funny thing about playing music on stage is like, if you're thinking, you're probably going to fuck up.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine being a front man of a band with that many songs and that many lyrics to remember.
Do you stand? Yeah, where do you stand on bands, singers having cheat sheets? Or because there's some bands that have like literally like the whole song is like karaoke screen in front of them.
I think I totally understand that for bands that have highly produced shows where timing is an issue, where you can't maybe you can't repeat that verse again. Like Pearl Jam can just keep vamping until Eddie remembers the lyric. Yeah. Or someone in the crowd tells them. But when you've got a show that's like timed out, it kind of makes sense. And even apart from that, like, the thing is, I think it's pretty common at this point for people to have those, but it doesn't mean they're using them all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just there for shit moments. Which totally makes sense to me. But yeah. I saw something
really interesting on this recent Metallica tour. It was like a picture of James' like cheat sheet, and it's basically looks like a set list, but each song, and it will literally just have like 5 words on it, and it's the first word of each like what's not chorus, but what's the other one?
Each verse,
yeah. But it's like that's all he needs. He just needs, if he forgets the line, like he needs the first word, and then he's in it.
Yep. That's why I make really simple, if it's an artist that I'm playing guitar for or something that I don't play with regularly, like maybe I'm just doing like a spot weekend or something like that. I do the same kind of thing with chord structures where I'll just literally, like, no real arrangement notes or anything like that. It's just verse, E minor, G, D, A. So that if I get to like a chorus or something, I'm like, oh fuck, where do I go? If I can't hear it in my head, then I can just look over real quick. But it's the same thing. I always bring charts with me, and I can't tell. I don't know if I'm sure I have, but I don't use them. It's just that I know that they're there, and it keeps me from having that oh shit moment. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know I'm covered, you know? Same kind of thing, I would think. But I thought this was cool, man. I like the song too. It is funny to me though. It seems like there's enough songs on this record that you're like, I know you don't hate anything on this record, but sometimes it's like, why is this your favorite record again?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does it feel like that for you sometimes?
Yeah, like I'll be like, well, wait a second. Like, I don't love this song 110%. You know?
Sure.
Like, why is this song? Shouldn't the album that I love the most have all 12 fucking bangers on it.
Right.
But no. I don't know. It's weird. It's just like a feeling overall.
Sure.
Because, like, Riot Act is not my favorite album, but it's got You Are on it, which is, like, literally one of my favorite songs ever.
Save You. That's one of your favorites too, right? Too.
Yeah. Yeah, but You Are is like...
No, I know.
I mean, it's up there.
I do know that about you, my friend.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
No, this was pretty amazing. The fact that they did this alone was awesome.
Yeah.
But when you listen back to how good they played, how good these songs sound as the band playing them, that's even like twice as special.
Right.
Because
no, agreed,
if we ever do Yield, I'm pretty sure that Yield was like they didn't. I remember watching it, going like, "This is cool that they did it, but they don't sound as tight."
I'm gonna have to put that on my phone and listen to it this week and see.
Yeah,
I don't remember. We should
do each one of these live album shows, just the album section.
Yeah, it's a good way
I liked doing this.
Yeah, me too. It's a good way to revisit the album without revisiting the album.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? Yeah. All right, cool. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed that little journey. Let us know. You can email us, singlepodcasttheory@gmail.com, or you can message Brad on the social media. And by Brad, I mean Blazy.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, thanks again, Hugh, and all of our other Patreon patrons. If you're interested,
maybe that's how you say it.
There it is. It's just it's the Marines. Where was I? Oh yeah, patreon.com. If you're interested in supporting, you can go there. Oh my God. Do it again, Brad.
Hooah!
I threw you off there, didn't I? Just a little bit. You had a little hesitation there.
I was thinking, she's a hooah.
Oh, God. All right. On that note, it's time to go. We'll be back next week. Thanks for listening. Until then, I'm Brad Lyons.
And I'm Brad Blazer.
Peace.
Later.
I died and you were still there. I died and you watched. I died and you walked by and said no. I'm dead.
That was high. Fuck yeah.